Sri Lanka is at peace for the first time in a generation, and the sense of relief here in Colombo is palpable. Victory over the Tamil Tigers is expected to deliver new levels of security and new economic opportunity. But what about political freedom and human rights? The war may be over, but the people here still live under a state of emergency. Why? And when will it end? The Sri Lankan army crushed the last vestiges of Tamil Tiger resistance in May 2009. The final phase of the military offensive cost thousands of lives, and it led to a welter of allegations of human rights abuses and war crimes. In Colombo, last year's army victory over the Tamil Tigers generated a euphoria that has yet to wear off. This display of military muscle came on the first anniversary of the war's end. In Sri Lanka, security remains a preoccupation. President Mahinda Rajapaksa, his image unmissable on Colombo's streets, was re-elected earlier this year as the strong man who vanquished the Tigers. He and his family now enjoy remarkable political power. But the era of Rajapaksa domination has brought with it controversy, much of it surrounding this man, Sarath Fonseka, the army commander who delivered victory over the Tigers and then decided to enter politics. His decision to challenge Rajapaksa for the presidency exposed the frailty of Sri Lankan democracy.
We are not accepting the results, and we have recorded the protest.
Fonseka didn't just lose the election, he lost his liberty too. The war hero is now on trial before a military court. The general is off limits to journalists.
This is a very difficult time, but what to do, we have to go through this.
But every evening his wife, Anoma, is allowed to visit him, and she helped me find a way to reach him by phone. General Fonseka, it is Stephen Sackur here from BBC Hardtalk.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm very well, how are you?
I'm okay.
Let me ask you this, General Fonseka. Why do you believe you are being held in detention?
Because I was the main opponent in the presidential campaign, and we have enough information that they have smart rigging.
In the military court, you stand accused of playing politics while you were still in uniform and of financial wrongdoing in terms of the military budget. These are serious charges.
So these are all bogus charges. Problem is we don't have justice. The political interference in the judiciary.
Who do you believe is behind the decision to put you in detention and to put you on trial?
Obviously, it's Mahinda Rajapaksa, not anybody else.
Last September, you claimed that the Defense Secretary had ordered that surrendering LTTE, Tamil Tiger leaders, should not be allowed to surrender but should be shot. Do you believe that that claim that you made is also linked to your detention?
What I said was there were some media people who were in the field. They have said that there was a message like that from Defense Secretary to one of the division commanders. At the same time, I know that this attempt to surrender with white flags, the telephone conversation took place with the Norwegians. The Norwegians spoke to Mr. Basil Rajapaksa, and Mr. Basil Rajapaksa spoke to the Defense Secretary.
You have said that you are willing to cooperate and testify in any war crimes tribunal investigation. Are you still prepared to testify?
I am aware of. I will anything.
Do you believe that there should be measures taken, whether it's through the United Nations or through other international groupings, to really put pressure on your government?
The world has to do whatever they can do within the powers to put this government on the right track. Otherwise, they will intimidate people, they will harass people, they will put people in jail, the people are being abducted, there are missing people. We have to stop this. We have to put an end to this.
General Fonseka, thank you for being on Hard Talk.
Thank you very much.
The media has become the front line in a high-stakes struggle between the forces of authoritarianism and the institutions of a free society.
That was a look at a developing story.
Here at MTV, which operates Sri Lanka's most popular independent TV channels, the news team treads a fine line in every bulletin.
We're now going for a short commercial break. Stay with us.
In Sri Lanka, journalists know they are under constant scrutiny. Reporting here can be a hazardous business. It's not that independent and investigative journalism is impossible. It's just that the individual journalists and organizations prepared to do it face harassment, intimidation, and worse. Early last year, MTV's main transmission station was attacked and gutted by an armed mob. It followed government criticisms of MTV's reporting of the war in the north. Here, graphic evidence of an uncomfortable truth. Over the past decade, Sri Lanka has become one of the most dangerous places in the world to be a journalist. At the Sunday Leader newspaper, they're painfully aware of the cost of free speech. In January last year, the outspoken editor of this English-language weekly was gunned down on the streets of Colombo, a ruthless assassination for which no one has ever been punished. The message to every independent-minded journalist could not have been clearer. Frederica Jans, welcome to Hard Talk.
Thank you.
You took your job as the editor of the Sunday Leader newspaper in the most terrible of circumstances. Your predecessor, Lasantha Wickrematunge, was gunned down on the streets of Colombo. What was it like to take the job when the last editor had been murdered?